Hello everybody, it's Tommy and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing a create a sim for the Disney save, and this is Dr. Facilier from The Princess and the Frog, our first truly evil character, I would say, for the Disney save. This is like a typical villain, one that is very popular amongst all of the villains from Disney, so I'm really excited to include his character in my save file. He actually has his own nightclub and 2 houses that are going to be a part of the save as well, so if you missed that, I already released the video for Dr. Facilier's nightclub. Definitely check that out in the playlist down below, but without further ado, let's get into what I have decided to do with his character for the save. So according to Disney Wiki, his first name is actually Anton, and I don't remember them saying that in the movie, but I'm sure at some point they have publicized that. So this is Anton Facilier, and his aspiration is that he wants to be a mansion baron, and I did decide to go with that because it is expressed in The Princess and the Frog that he really is interested in Big Daddy's fortune specifically. So it makes a lot of sense that he would want to own a mansion, and he does sort of despise the rich, but I could see him sort of pursuing that anyway and having sort of a complex there. For his traits, I did go with evil, that's obvious, jealous, and we have self-assured. So jealous was sort of a decision because it's clear that he very much wants something that another person has and will stop at nothing to get it. So that's obviously like a very jealous type of quality, and always thinking that the grass is greener on the other side of a fence kind of deal. And then for self-assured, he's a very smooth talking, charismatic, very just like calming, could convince you to do anything kind of character. So you have to have a sense of confidence, a sense of self-assurance to act like that. So his current status in the Disney save is that he is plotting his way to the LaBeouf fortune, as he typically is and probably will do for the rest of his life. As far as his personality goes, Dr. Facilier is infamous around New Orleans, but known more commonly as the Shadow Man. He is the owner of Other Side Nightclub, but he doesn't see much profit from it due to some shady investors and bad business practices. Like a lot of things in life, Anton managed to become a spellcaster by making some bad business deals and promises to all the wrong people. He's super charming and smooth talking on the surface. You would swear that he could convince anybody to do anything. Sure, he has powers now, but he's often called upon by higher powers to use them for horrible schemes and crimes. But personally, Anton wants nothing more than to become a mansion baron. More specifically, he has his eyes set on the LaBeouf mansion. The Shadow Man will never stop concocting schemes to take control of Big Daddy's fortune and power. Rest assured, if something strange is happening around New Orleans, Dr. Facilier is not far behind. As for his job, he is a owner in the Other Side nightclub, and he runs it. He does small business from some of the back portions of the nightclub. He's got like a tarot reading section, fortune telling, and there are some stores in the back that he makes a little bit of a profit off of. He calls himself the owner, and if you ask, he will say that he is the owner of Other Side, but at this point his portion of stocks is so much less than a lot of the other people involved, but you're gonna find him there pretty much every single day and night, and he's even decided to move into the small loft next door from his other home that he has in Louisiana View, which will be in a future video. So yeah, technically he does live in Louisiana View, but he's pretty much decided to stay here. One, because he is a spellcaster, and I did forget to make him a spellcaster for this video, but I promise the version in the Disney save, he will be one, as well as the version that goes live on the gallery, he will be a spellcaster for sure. And he doesn't want people to know that. He doesn't want people to try and get anything off of him and use his powers. They're definitely very like his, and he wants to use them for himself. So he's got to keep his spellcaster status on the down low, and he doesn't want his neighbors knowing. So he doesn't like spending a lot of time out at the other neighborhood where he's just got a lot of neighbors, a lot of stuff going on. He would much rather be at the nightclub where he could hang low and concoct schemes and just come up with his own stuff. Besides the nightclub, besides all that, his hobbies, he's into voodoo, dark magic, collecting relics and ancient artifacts, tarot reading, and fortune telling. His hidden trait is that Dr. Facilier has a private portion of Other Side that is only open to other spellcasters, and you can go to him for any spellcaster looking to dabble in the ways of dark magic. So he's definitely a go-to if you are like a darker, interested in darker magic spellcaster specifically. You might go to Anton to get some things done if you're interested in a certain certain spell that maybe isn't like very popular, isn't on the books, he might be able to send you in the right direction. And that is pretty much what I've written for his character. So I'm very interested to have him in the save. He's one of my first single sims, and to me, I personally love to play with single sims more so than like big families, so it'll be fun. He has the nightclub, he has his 2 residences, and as far as his clothing went, I was actually really surprised that the game had a lot of options available as far as like things that I felt like would work really, really well for his character design. So in the movie, he wears like a longer style coat that's a little bit open and sort of like the vest thing that you would wear over the top of a button-up shirt without the button-up shirt underneath it, and then some fancier dress pants, some like bowling fancier type of shoes, and the tall hat. And we did have a lot of those items already in game. It's not exact for sure. A lot of, obviously, anything that comes with the overlay vest does have the undershirt underneath it, so I would have loved to have been able to remove that portion and just keep the vest and really, really get his character. But we did have that, and then it came in like, there was one in specific that came in a very similar color scheme to the one that he wears in the movie. And I did have a little bit of an issue with this because in some lighting, it looks like the Doctor is wearing black. And then in some lighting, he's wearing like shades of purple and maroon. But when you do see his character at Disneyland, I looked up like if he had ever appeared at Disneyland and if they do that as like a character actor, if he was available. And he is. I think he's one of the more rare characters. But the outfit that they dressed him in was definitely shades of purple and like maroon and everything. So I decided that was the color scheme we were basically going to go with prominently. I did include a second outfit for the first, his like daily wear, that was the black version. And I also think I included a third version with like some skeleton face mask paint from some of the scenes from the movie. Clearly we don't have a mask, but we can still go with the skeleton paint anyway. As far as the other outfits go, anything that was elegant, a lot of the vampire stuff, trying to keep it very high-end, very classy, even though I sort of picture the Doctor as being a type of character that he wants to be very wealthy. He also clearly despises the rich, but he sort of carries himself a certain way. Like, I feel like he would be into fashion a little bit more than some of the other characters, and he would very much care about, like, what he was wearing to a certain degree. So I tried to dress him in some fancier clothing, especially anything that might be somewhat more time period appropriate. A lot of the stuff I've used is from vampires, so it's a little bit more old school. But I tried to do a good mix of both, like the vintage glamour stuff, the vampire stuff, and then Realm of Magic here and there. And then he does have some like throwaway outfits, anything that's like swimwear, activewear. That's very hard to do for any character. It doesn't even matter who it is. So I just picked whatever I wanted. And then the outfits that don't include his hat, he does have a longer hair style that's all sort of hidden underneath the hat, and it is shown in the movie at one point that he has a lot of hair underneath there. So I tried to pick like a longer kind of curly hat-shaped hairstyle for that. And that is going to be Dr. Facilier. He is our first villain of the Disney save. So definitely let me know what you think of him down in the comment section below. If you would like to support the Disney save on Patreon, it is linked down below as well. I super appreciate anybody who has the time to check that out. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little bell icon below to turn on post notifications so you can get updated every single time I post. And I will talk to you all in the next one.